Okay, so let's say you've got your drawing is done. So I'm gonna just trace this out real quick as if I'd just done my pattern. Okay. You traced it on just regular copy paper. You cut it out. Even if y'all think you've done this part, watch in case there's something to it that you didn't realize already. So let's say my design was something like this. You know, whatever, okay? Okay, so that's my design. Ooh, ah. All right, so now is the part where you cut it, tape it, swap it, all that good stuff. So you'll pick one direction to fold first. You're gonna wanna make sure you've lined up your corners perfectly, so go slower than what I just did. You open it, try to take it to the paper cutter so you can cut right along that edge. For this example, I'm just going to cut it with scissors, but your pattern will only turn out as perfectly as each step of this process. So if you cheat yourself or try to skip and go fast, it'll show. So this is what it just looked like. I'm gonna take the one from the right, move it over to the left. Gonna get a piece of tape. Without reorienting anything, I'm just gonna flip these over to the back. Line them up perfect. Tape them together. Try to do better than what I just did. There's a gap. Then you're gonna fold it the other way. Again, trying to be as precise as possible, better than what I'm showing you. Take it to the paper cutter, cut along that line. Unlike me using scissors, going really fast. This part is really important. So here's what I just had. I'm gonna take what's on the right, move it to the left, flip it over without changing the orientation, taping these together. Again, try to make that bottom one better. So now is where you add in those like extra patterns. So like I'm seeing that there's a big gap here. So I'm going to add another little doodle. That looks like a dude's face. Weird. The key here is you can't add anything to the very edges. That'll ruin the repeat. But you can if you're like, I kind of wish I'd added some dots here. Great. Or you want a dot right there. You can do that. You want a dot up there or here. You can do that. So you can add anything. If you decided you actually wanted to add something funky to these lines, you could do that too. As long as it's not on the edge, you're okay. All right? What you're gonna do next is get your tile. Wipe it with your hand as best you can. Whatever's on your hand, wipe it off on yourself or a neighbor. Try not to throw it on the floor, but you're gonna try to wipe off any debris, okay? Then, you're gonna get your tracing paper from me. So this is the chalky side. I can feel by putting my thumb on it. I'm gonna go chalky side down on the table so that I can carve my tile. Again, lining it up perfect. Tracing. If you skimp on any of these parts where I say make it perfect, it's like telephone. You're gonna lose part of it at every step. So we're cutting out our trace paper. Powdery sides here. So I'm gonna put powder side facing down on my tile. Gonna get a little piece of tape, maybe even 2 pieces. Making sure it stays nice and in line. This not moving is really important. So maybe 2 pieces going along the top. If they'll stay, I didn't clean off the back, so those aren't wanting to stay. So you might have to wipe off both sides to make your tape stay. Then you'll take what you made, you cut, you swapped, all that good stuff. You'll lay it down on top. You'll try to tape that down too, if it'll stay. This not moving is really important. And then you trace. So using a pen, not a pencil will cut through your paper. You're gonna trace your design. What's really important is that you get what's on the edges correct, because that's how our repeat pattern happens. What's over here needs to match up with what's over here. So when you lift this up and look, and you should do it early on-ish to see that it's working, notice it's pretty faint, but that's enough. So once you've traced it all, you'll take it off and lay it kind of next to your work. And then, you know, any parts that didn't transfer perfectly, you're gonna wanna really look at your design and make sure that you copy it correctly. And then you trace over all the white. So I would have done the whole thing. I would have traced the whole thing, so white would be everywhere. And with my pen, I'd be going over, you know, every part, okay? So that's the goal. Let's see, today's Wednesday. Oh, you're good, by the way.